Now, this section is going to be about connecting to the spirits of water in their various forms. Now, we've already covered snow and ice and all of that, so we're going to be talking about water in its water form. So I'm going to start with the ocean, and it's one of those that even if you do not live anywhere near an ocean, you can connect with it because we are all water, or not all water, but mostly water. So water connections in the human experience is very easy for most of us. Some of us, it takes a little bit more of an effort to kind of understand that the water that's within us is the same water that is without us. So connecting to the ocean is one of those, it's vast, I'm sorry. It's the largest bodies of water are our oceans. This planet is more than 50%. It's actually much more than that. But as time goes on, we're going to be losing our ice caps and we are going to be having even more water. So connecting to water now in this time is really important to understand that water is the basis of life. That's where life began on this planet. So the connection to water is very easy once you start looking at how much water we have within us and all around us. So connecting to the ocean, it's one of those things. If you make salt water, you've created a miniature ocean. So you can do that with just a bowl of water and a little bit of sea salt, add that in, and you've created your own microscopic version of an ocean. So you can connect to the ocean through that. Now, if you live close enough to the ocean, you can probably have already realized that the ocean is not just this passive little bowl of water. It is a living force. It's an entity on of itself. It can be very calming, but it can also be very dangerous. So if you're really connecting to the ocean itself, you will have to go in with that reverence that it can take a life at any moment with a hurricane, tidal wave, all the creatures that are in it. So in the Norse mythology, the ocean was really the greatest thing of their world, and most other worlds had water on them. So water was a connection from our realm to the other realms that are out there because almost all of them had water. Now, Niflheim was a little different, and Muspelheim was a little different. They had their own versions. So connecting with those planets isn't necessarily easier when you have the connection of water, but you have all but seven realms that you can go into with the connection of water and oceans. So oceans to the Vikings were very important because that's basically how they journeyed and how they traveled and how they traded and pillaged. So the oceans were very important to the Norse. And when you get into like the mythology, there's definitely a lot of connections with the ocean and the travel and the gods that ruled it. So when you want to really connect to the ocean, it's really important to be respectful, um, as any spirit. But the ocean itself is very, very kind of hard for some of us to connect to. Much easier in other aspects that we'll talk about, like ponds and lakes and that kind of thing. So the ocean is one of those that I would kind of build up to, which is not the reason why I put it first, but it's the biggest one, and I wanted to talk about that first. So really, when it comes to connecting to the ocean, you're really going to have to be respectful and mindful, but really let your intuition guide you on how to do that. So do some research on the ocean and the life. Now, the Norse had experience with salmon a lot. So if you need to, that's kind of a cross between a freshwater and an oceanic fish during mating seasons and all of that. So a salmon is a good bridge between freshwater and seawater. but you can also connect with dolphins, sharks, whatever animals or mammals, whatever you want to term them as, in the ocean. So the Norse had knowledge of all of the oceanic life that we know, except for certain things, but I'm not going to list the few that they didn't have or knowledge of. But the ocean is one of the go-to for the Norse, and it's really, really an important aspect to all of us. It really affects our weather, it affects our moods, everything about it really is a connection to us that we may or may not realize. So for right now, we'll just kind of leave the ocean and we'll go into the smaller bodies of water. So thank you.